Hey you guys, I have another little project to share with you. First of all, excuse my fingers. I've been working with black gesso today and they are a mess. I did not realize that black gesso stained so much. So yeah, my nails are black, sorry. So I have a swap that I have participated in with my girls. This is a swap with Anna, Christy, and Irene. And so we decided to make some lace collage snippets and also a memorydex card. Now, I really have never done either. I just made one collage snippet for my milk cap stash busting challenge. But other than that, this is brand new for me, so it was a bit of a challenge, but it was fun, and so I kind of just went with it and dug out my vintage lace stash and made up a few of these. So I'm just going to quickly go through them with you. Start with these three. So here's the first one. For most of these, I stamped some images on some old vintage linen that I had, and so I just stamped this with brown stays on, and I added one of these Tim Holtz pins here and a few different layers. This is just a piece of you know, I'm thinking when there was a craft store that went out of business, a fabric store rather, that went out of business, and I bought a lot of the remnants from there. So this was one of the pieces that I picked up, and then I bought another probably maybe 10 different remnants that all sort of you know, kind of went together, blues and all the light browns and tans. So I used a lot of those fabrics for my snippet collages. And then here is also one of those little remnant pieces. So I cut that, made a little ruffle there sort of, and added some vintage buttons. And there's 1, 2, 3 layers of vintage lace on that piece. And then for this one, I used this wedding applique here. This is a stamped image here of this bicycle. And then this is a couple different pieces of those fabrics. And then I added, you know, some vintage lace here on the bottom and on the top as well. Here's number 2. And then this one. This is one of those pieces that that Michael's used to sell in their dollar bin there, and I just put a little rhinestone jewel here, added a couple little doilies here with a rhinestone button, and then added some lace there and to the side. There's a few different layers sewn together on that, and then this vintage piece on the bottom. And then I used this quilt batting, the backing for quilts, for most of my pieces. Then that way I had, you know, something to give it a little dimension there and something to sew my layers onto. And then I have this one, another stamped image. This is a Tim Holtz piece here, and then some Tim Holtz words, and then I used a couple little doily pieces here with some twine and a vintage button. Again, a couple different layers of vintage lace, and that piece there of fabric. I like how that one turned out. And this one I have already previously showed this in my milk cap video, but I used my milk cap here and then layered this up with this cute little girl stamp, which I love. And this one, another wedding applique, some of that Tim Holtz fabric, music note fabric. I put a little piece of that here, more vintage lace, and a stamped image here. And I have this one, those little girls again, Another vintage button. This is a piece of, I want to say it was kind of like a doily, but I chopped it up and used that piece there. You can see have a piece of tulle here, and the Tim Holtz music fabric behind there. Another piece of vintage lace. And this one, I used a key here. Several different pieces of vintage lace. Another one of those pieces that I chopped off of the doily, and this also is a stamp. And then I love that light pink. This is from a vintage handkerchief that I chopped up there. Can you hear my cat in the background? Then I have this piece that I added some blue to. I thought that blue lace was so pretty. My cat's going to try to get on the table. Whoa. Okay. And then this piece, which I love, it has the same blue lace there. I thought that was so pretty, so I wanted to incorporate that into a snippet somehow. So that underneath this piece, that was so pretty. Okay, and that's all my snippet collages, and here are my memorydex cards. Now, this is this is also the first time I've made these, so it's kind of been a learning experience for me, but I just sort of imagined them as ATC cards. So here's one. Kind of layered it. This is an image that I used that transfer paper, inkjet transfer paper, printed this image out, and then I ironed it on just this fabric here, and then cut that out to put on there. I love this background paper. This is the Little Women. Has different verses from the Little Women and some book pages from that. And that one. This one. I just chopped up some different images. I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure this is from a Prima collection. And this is just a little butterfly that I cut out of a flower. This one's kind of simple. But I had this paper and I thought that was pretty. And this one. This is from the Attic collection. I want to say it was like maybe Melissa Francis Attic collection. And I just stamped this on a little piece of that old linen as well. Added this clock here. Some old lace. There's the back. This one. I love these tickets. Those are so cool. And then I just added some just ephemera clip. I think this also is from a Prima collection. These little pieces. This is actually a journal card that I turned into a Rolodex card. This one. This is another one of those transfer papers that I ironed onto to this fabric. And this is the lace with the blue that was on my snippet collage that I love. I think that's so pretty. This one. And here. These pieces came from a very old collection. I don't even know who made them, but I found them in my stash, and so I'm trying really hard to use up my stash lately, so I put those to work on this little card. And this one, which I've already shown in my milk cap video, but it's part of my memorydex Rolodex experience here, so there it is. And this is actually a vintage receipt. And those are what I made I can't wait to start filling up my Rolodex here with all these cute Rolodex cards. So thank you. Thanks guys for watching.